Folks, so this is Rajiv Surya and glad you are here to view my video. So this is about a topic about what is usability testing, and very simply I will be explaining you with an example and basic knowledge about usability testing with basic simple terminologies. So let's get ahead. Let's come up with an example. Let's see an example of Google Plus. 8 long years it took in testing, and the reason was disengagement on Google Plus. Why? What happened? Why did it take so long for them to understand? One of the major reasons of Google Plus, told by an ex-designer in a blog, which link I'll be providing in this YouTube description. Please go ahead and have a look at the story behind how they were unable to understand the needs of the users, unable to empathize with the needs of the users. It's just mimicking another social networking platform like Facebook, and making it very exclusive was their target. So they kept in mind, and the target for Google Plus was to make it a social platform, compete with Facebook, and increase users. They wanted the users to share each and everything from mails to thoughts to other social um, issues, what they are actually dealing with, etc., which actually users didn't want to do. So unable to understand the needs of the users, one of the big criteria which didn't come out of the testing. They were unable to do simultaneous testings while they were actually coming up with the concept and doing this. Otherwise this would have not taken so long to realize the needs of the users. So it was born in June 28, 2011 and died off in 2nd April 2019. So we have seen an example. So why test anything in the first place? So as designers, we need to answer this constantly. Have you all heard this excuses text? I want you all to take a few seconds to just resonate with any of these conversations which you all have had, or judgments also you can say from other people or stakeholders or internal team on your proposed solutions. So some of them I would like to read it, but it's not clear there would be any value from it. Oh, but we didn't have enough time to run user tests. People are not too tech savvy, they won't understand this fancy design. They are used to the system from past 10 years, don't change anything, they won't use it. We don't have any customers yet. This content won't work as it is too short for people to understand. They are used to the system for past 10 years, again and again and again, the same assumptions by multiple stakeholders inside your team and external teams also, or the clients. So let's chuck off all these excuses by seeing some facts. Let's get to some bottom story about what companies and the customers are having a gap between. Let's take a fact about it's a research done by Gartner and Capgemini reports. 80% of organizations expect to compete mainly based on customer experience. Well, it's good. Everyone should aim for that. 75% of organizations believe themselves to be user-centric. That's something. Beliefs are good. But let's have a reality check. What do consumers think? Consumers are using the products, and in the course of time, they think that companies, 30% of them actually believe that this is the case, that organizations are user-centric. So there is a large gap between. What do you call this gap? Well, there is a term for it. It's called empathy gap. To reduce the empathy gap, one of the major issues which a lot of companies face is reducing this empathy gap. And to reduce this empathy gap, we need to test our proposed solutions formatively and summatively. So here's what is usability testing. It's simply put a reality check or to validate if something is working or not. So you're putting something into this planet. So is it working for your users or not? It gives you a reality check and also makes you well aware about what iterations or what design validations you need to get. So two things go hand in hand over here. We simultaneously empathize with our users while testing and strongly get validations for our future plans in the proposed solution. So let's come to the contents of the usability testing. Two major contents, qualitative and quantitative data which you get out of it. What do you mean by qualitative data? Qualitative is more about subjective, more about experiences shared by users while you're doing the testing. It's like kind of feedbacks, testimonials, interviews, or reviews which you can relate to. These are very qualitative data, and actually you get a lot of design clues from this area, which you can iterate in the course of time for your future roadmap, on your roadmap of the proposed solution. Coming to the quantitative data, it's basically about dealing with numbers. What kind of numbers? We call it matrix. What kind of matrix? Experience matrix, time matrix, money matrix. All these form up to some set kind of units called numbers, ratings, and percentages. And we also have a final impact and value or value matrix, which we say. And in the course of time, I'll be sharing with you how to come up or take out the impact of value matrix from the usability testings which you have performed. You do usability testing. With an example of my recent project, I would definitely want to show you how we approached as a team of 4 of how to do usability testing with our process and the flow and some kind of templates or feedback forms which we created. All of this which was done at zero cost. So let's get going. How we did usability testing. Firstly, we have a clearly defined goal. Like, are you trying to impact conversion through your proposed solution? Are you trying to impact customer satisfaction? Are you trying to impact the deflection of support calls? Are you trying to impact efficiency? There might be different goals which you have set for solving a problem and came out with a proposed solution. What are those goals? Please list them out. Like, for example, let's show you an example with my recent project. So we were redesigning a POS solution for India's top jewelry brand. A POS solution is nothing but points of sale system. Any enterprise solution uses the solution to actually end-to-end transact the products which they are actually manufacturing, till sales and post-sale services. A one-stop solution. So what comes to your mind when you think about a jewelry store POS? Let's think about some keywords. It can be elegance, dynamic, complex, combinations, calculations, intelligent, consistent, effective, efficiency. We chose very important goals for us from the many, like complexity, to deal with complexity, achieve efficiency, and effectivity. Some of these terms we jotted down into our goals, and our goals from the many, we had 2 prior goals. Top priority, you can say, is the solution efficient enough? Are we saving time for our users or the employees of the Indian jewelry brand so that they can perform multiple other tasks? Because in any enterprise solution, if you save time, there is a potential time for to generate revenue and generate value more than often. Is the solution simple to use? Simplicity. Because it's a complex solution where dealing with numbers and complexities, we need to actually have all these combinations made into very intuitive and a simple interface. We had these 2 as our prior goals. Then we started to define our tasks. This is after you have built a design prototype. So we have built a design prototype and we were planning for how to do usability testings. So all our prototype was ready with Adobe XD, and we end-to-end stitched the whole solution with 10 tasks completely being performed from the level of micro interactions to the level of macro. So we had 10 tasks designed end-to-end in the prototype, and we defined all the tasks. Then what next? Now is the time to actually get in touch with users and line them up for the whenever, which day are you planning to actually do with the usability testing. 4 to 5 days prior to the date of the testing is preferred, because you can actually show them or brief them about what they will be performing on the day in the given amount of time, and what are the outcomes of it and how they will be helping us. This is something but comforting the users, so that they don't feel surprised the day they turn up. So we had 3 different types of user groups depending upon the different age groups. It can be 25 to 35, 35 to 45, and 55 to 65, so that we get a dynamic variation of content or findings from the usability testings, which gives us better iterations and more validations. After we have set all our users and we have called them up and lined them up, we have designed our UT feedback form. This is nothing but after each task or each experience the user is going through, there is some kind of a data we need to grasp and ask the user and take it in the form of a physical or a digital data point. So we came up with the simple UT feedback forms, as we were unable to find different kinds of feedback forms. So we went ahead to design our own UT feedback form. Let's show you the analogy of, the anatomy of the whole UT feedback form. The first section comes with the usability testing number on the left side, the company, the client, the project, and the module. Different types of modules in one project, so you can actually maintain the project details as the documentation digitally or physically goes on. You can actually have very well segregated content by this top layer of information of project details, where you can fetch your usability testing numbers for the project and for the specific module. The next section comes about the demographics, where you actually take the age, gender, or the experience of using with the existing solution, if it is a redesign, and the role he plays in the enterprise solution, example, the employees. Little bit after getting the demographics, this is where you actually list or write the task to do, so that you give this task to the user. If you have 10 tasks, the first task you will write over here, and you have 10 templates of this, where you will be taking 10 different experience points and ratings. The third line we are starting now with the matrix. So we have a time matrix. If it is an existing solution redesign, so we'll have 2: time taken for the proposed solution while he is performing the task, and existing time taken for the existing solution. Here a small tip: if it is not a redesign, if it is a new thing which you're proposing, then definitely you will have competitors. So try to get those competitors and ask them, if you would have done a competitor's thing, how much time that would have taken for you. This will get a good comparative analysis while you are actually launching your product. Guidance needed is nothing but a simple rating which you need to give from 0 to 10. If, for suppose, let's take an example, to perform this particular above task, the user has taken 2 minutes, that is 120 seconds. In that 120 seconds, he might have stuck between 1 or 2 areas where it is kind enough for you to guide him, but try not to overly guide him, because there the data will actually get little manipulated, because there is a clue if you are guiding him or he's stuck somewhere that it's not much intuitive, and there is some work to do in that. So this is the guidance meter. So ask this guidance meter from your users and fill it over here. Finally, this is a major chunk of usability parameters, ratings, which we have taken. In the description, we have shown a link of NN Group, where they have defined the different components and parameters of usability, which is memorability, effectiveness, efficiency, desirability, and delightfulness. On all of these parameters, try to take ratings after he has performed each task on the scale of 0 to 10. You can tweak it and add it more of the parameters. There were multiple parameters and components for usability in NN Group blog, but we had a prioritized parameters which we needed to measure on. So you can actually edit this template and add your parameters if you think that aligns to your goals which you have set for your project. And final bar is the overall experience, is the average of all of the above, as simple as that. And the final one is authentication, so that future documentation is easy for the different stakeholders or internal teams. So this is how it looks, the template. Hope you like it, and you can download this template from the blog, which I have shared the link in the description. Feel free to download the Illustrator file and the PDF, and y'all can edit it on the go according to your priorities and feedbacks which you get from your process. The whole crux and the detail, the soul of this whole thing is that you need to test and learn on the go. This is something which will make this template more better and better. Hope you liked it. The tools over here we used were Adobe XD to design the whole prototype and record the session. Loom is a plugin for the Chrome which we used. Right now for remote testing we are using it so that we can record the face expressions while testing it online. And Gaze Recorder is a heat map analysis free tool. Kind of, you can actually take 20 seconds or 30 seconds of free heat map analysis for your proposed solutions in the form of JPEGs and links. So this is 2 screenshots which I am sharing, which I experienced freely on the gazerecorder.com, where I actually uploaded the JPEGs of my profile. One is the LinkedIn profile and one is actually a Tesla dashboard, to see where my eyeball is tracking, to see how efficiently it's calibrating and the data is very accurate. It was surprising for me that because 85 to 90% it was accurate, and I was surprised by this technology, which is they're using the webcam to calibrate your eye tracking and giving you accurate results, near to accurate results. Let's come to the impact of value metrics now. This is one of the things which is in quantitative data or metrics is very valuable for the end after you have completed all your usability testings and you are doing an analysis on that. So let's see the anatomy of this template also, impact analysis. The top is the project details, modules, and how many users have you actually performed usability testing on. Then these are a list of tasks which you actually have performed for. So I've listed 10 to show you an example. Then the next column is about frequency. How frequently this task is done by your user. Like example, in an enterprise solution, we had this frequency of one task being done 3 times a day and one task being done once a week. So actually the data changes accordingly if you do 3 tasks daily and 1 task 1 week. So going ahead, we have time matrix where we have 3 columns inside it. Existing time for the existing solution, proposed time, how much time it is taken for the proposed solution, and time saved, which is nothing but subtracting and getting the data. And the 4th column is about wow features, because it is whenever in a redesign you're redesigning an existing feature, existing flow, which wherever you are efficiently saving time, you will get this from the time matrix. But in the course of time, this actually has a redesign will also have new features. So those features kindly mark it or align which are the new features or wow features which you wanted to highlight from. So total users tested, the numbers for each task, because each you have performed by 10 users, then 10 users for each task. Similarly, usability matrix, whatever you have taken for each template, each task for each user, you can actually mention it here as an average for one user and detail it out. Usability matrix, the total one is what we are looking at, cumulative data. And the final one is overall experience, which is nothing but the average of all. And finally, we have a column below, which is the impact findings, like company turnover of the 2 years we took, but the dark gray boxes are actually I wanted to highlight is time invested and saved, which I get from time matrix, and that time saved is actually a potential revenue growth for the company. So we also added a final column to modify this template on the go, where we also listed qualitative feedback. It's nothing but links to reviews and testimonials or interviews which we have taken from the user uh, in a very casual sense, so that they can actually go to this YouTube links and see what was the feedback for the particular tasks, especially. So the final template looks something like this, because this is a project of NDA. So all the tasks are blurred out, but only the process has been shown. So through this, we actually saved 7.5 hours for our users daily, which is nothing but a revenue of 41 potential revenue of 40 crores per day. This was I'm proud of being part of this project, and hope so this will in the next coming months it is going live in worldwide and in India for all its stores. So what is the achievements out of this usability testing of an example which I showed you from my project, and having this planned out and coming up with 2 templates which are designed solely by our team over here at Mindtree? What did it cost us? 0 cost, 1 week of planning, 2 designers, 3 users, 4 hours to execute on a Saturday, and lots of learning. So these were multiple, and we had also tested for nearly 9 users in the course of time for other modules by remote testing, because this was done before lockdown, and we did another usability testing while the lockdown was there and remotely, which was a good experience. So I would like to share some third-party tools which are there, which actually charge you for the expertise of usability matrix which they actually provide for your solution. But the whole point of me creating this whole templates and doing it by yourself is actually you can do it yourself if you have a very good planned structure around it and timeline to fix. This is something which you can take care of. So some of the examples, all these links will be provided in the YouTube this video's description. So have a look and please explore. Finally, I want to tell is don't depend completely on the tools. Try to do it yourself. These tools which I've shown you in the previous slide, the key is to actually test and learn in the process. So try to do it yourself and try to modify according to whatever parameters of usability you wanted to prioritize on. So end of the day is actually giving you a reality check, and finally trying to help you to take decisions in business or design or development in the course of time.